5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Security Guard Show with Shep and Pitt, where we share stories about our experiences in the security industry and provide tips that might help you in your career as a security professional. This show is sponsored by Enterprise Security Consulting and Training Incorporated. And now, let's start the show.
And action.
Welcome to the Security Guard Show with Shep and Pitt.
We got all kind of technical stuff going on. I'm doing 2 or 3 different things. Hey, I'm Shep, and that is Pitt with the ESCT logo and patch in his hand. And welcome to the Security Guard Show with Shep and Pitt. What'd you say?
I said live it, learn it, love it.
Live it, love it, learn it. That's what's up. That's what's up. We want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. Pitt, what you got going on, man? What's new and exciting, man?
Well, I just busted my butt and dealt a Sonic in front of a multitude of people.
I think you better tell folks exactly what you mean when you say you busted your butt.
Oh, I fell. I fell, and because I'm old and not as spry as I used to be, it looked worse than it was, but it was a nice fall. They have a high curve.
Well, thank God it was only a fall. It wasn't an accident, because last year, you had to deal with an accident.
Got hit on my motorcycle from behind.
So I'm
somebody here in Rochester. If you know who it is.
If we find you,
yeah,
we're going to have you prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And you should hope that's what happens, because
which means you'll be getting off lucky.
Right. Maybe we should make that one of our investigations. Now that I think about it.
Well, I'm not allowed to go on. He was going that fast.
Huh?
He was going that fast. Witnesses said he was going like 80 miles an hour.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe there's something we can do. But
anyway, I'm alive.
But you're alive.
Thank God.
And we thank God for that.
A blessing.
And I was just telling you, I witnessed, well, I didn't actually witness the accident itself, but I was a party to the aftermath and the emergency medical response to an individual who ran into a Mercedes-Benz. The rider had a compound fracture of his knee. And it was ugly, man. The bone was sticking out like this, and people came, and you had, one of the things I can't get, and I know this is the age that we live in, but there were people with their phones out, and I mean, like, do anybody get a little bit of privacy? You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, Empathy.
Screw the privacy.
Right.
Empathy.
If I'm on the ground, I want you to be doing anything you can help me, not filming me.
So you can show other people posted my misery.
Right.
I don't even know if there's people there filming that my thing. I'm sure somebody
might have it.
Standing there.
Right. But you know what? That kind of leads me into today's topic. So I'm sure folks wonder what the heck, guess again, the topic stands for. So Pitt, why don't you explain it?
Sheep and lamb's clothing. The quality of security guards that they have out there. I always say, I've done a lot of club work all my life, so I say there's 3 types of guards. There's ones that are good, there's ones that are only good when they work with people, and then there's ones that are guess again. And they play the role, they got the tactical belt, the pepper spray, and the lingo, and the talk, and when something happens, you can't find them.
Oh my God.
And there's so many stories. I remember one time this kid took off his shirt. They started fighting in the club, he took his shirt off.
For what? For what?
Took his shirt to blend in. So he
took the security shirt off.
Security shirt off.
Well, I'm sure that there's somebody on this live this evening, who has experienced that. I've been there too. working maybe at a concert or something, and guys that you know are supposed to be on the floor, next time you see them, they look like everybody. Yeah, guess agains. And but go back to the beginning. So you said 3 people. Why don't you give a little bit?
So a really good security guard, you only have to tell them once. They know the job. They know what they're supposed to do. They don't ask a lot of questions. You don't have to micromanage, and they have a level of professionalism that should come with the job. And then you have those that, if there's people around and there's people to vibe off of and feed with, they monitor and watch other people, and they get the job done. You know, not to a high expectation, but they get the job done.
Right.
And then you have those people that, when you look, it looks like they're working, but when you look away, they're gone. They're gone, or they're talking to a girl, and that's club life. In other securities, you again have guards that are good. You have guards that you have to micromanage, and with micromanagement, they're okay. And then you have guards that, again, when you look, they're not there. They're not doing their tours. They're not monitoring what they should be monitoring because they assume nothing's going to happen.
Right.
They just don't even reach anywhere near the level of expectations that are required with this job.
Right. So if I'm a supervisor and I'm doing event security, how do I avoid the guess agains?
So if you're a supervisor, hopefully you're smart enough to know your guess agains, and you put them in, I call them guess again spots. So here, you watch this door, and it's a long door.
Pitt, it's been my experience that some of the guess agains, if you put them at a door, they will disappear from the door.
Yeah, but it's just where you need a body.
But the thing is,
and there'll be somebody watching that person, but you need somebody there.
Okay.
So a space like that, or go do traffic.
No.
You know, with somebody that is a good guard.
Right,
so,
right,
I mean,
right.
You have to.
You got to have some oversight.
Yes.
So, listen, I'm just gonna say this: if you are what we might describe as a guess again security guard, this probably ain't the business for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't built for this. You have to be prepared to be assertive. You have to be prepared to back up your partners. You know, so on and so forth. So, I'm very particular because I'm gonna tell you this. Now, I'm a little older now, so I'm not so much to get into fisticuffs. But if I'm expecting you to back me up and you disappear, oh, you best believe at the end of the night, there's some rumble and tumbling.
If I come into some place and I don't know anybody, I tell people, listen, this is what I'll do. If you can't do or won't do, let me know.
Right.
Because if you don't say anything, I'm assuming that you have my back just like I have your back. And if you don't, that's fine. You're not built for it. I know people aren't built for it. But if I think you do and something happens, we got to have a conversation.
For me, back in the day, it was more than a conversation. We might have been the movement of furniture.
What is this, PG? PG, man.
Well, I gave the PG version. Yeah, it might have been the movement of furniture because, I think I've always prided myself on coming with a level of, professionalism that, even if I'm not in a position to maybe get involved, I'm doing something. Because I've seen people just stand there. You know what I mean? So maybe if you couldn't grab a leg or you couldn't grab an arm, you could have got somebody off my back. You know what I mean? You could have moved people around. But some folks, they just ain't built for it.
Disclaimer: I know that there's people watching this that know me that are gonna say something. Every now and then I do mess up and get ahead of myself and do some dumb stuff because I'm a person that every now and then does some dumb stuff.
Okay, at least you admit it.
I mean, it's the truth. I know I am overall great, but there are times that you're going to have to say, what, why?
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? And if you don't know Pitt, let me tell you, Pitt, especially working at a club, Pitt goes into this other mode, right? It's like, see, most of us have an on-off switch. Pitt has no switch sometimes. You can't tell what's going to happen. But that's okay, because that comes in knowing who you're working with, right?
I don't think anybody has ever questioned whether or not I have been back.
No. I would highly doubt anybody questioning that. I know I wouldn't. And but you know, having been in this business for a while, you see all kinds of things. What kills me is not just the guess agains. And this is I was getting ready to parlay into this story before we started live. So, you know, I'm a member of a bunch of different security guard groups on Facebook and other social media sites. And so there's this one guy in Wisconsin, and I'm at a point I don't care if he sees this. I'm just telling him what it is. So he posted these pictures of members of his security team raiding an apartment and confiscating illegal drugs and making arrests and turning them over to police. So I'm asking, I'm like, excuse me for asking, but you know, in New York, we couldn't do that. What law gives you the right to do that? And how is that different from a home invasion? And you know, he started giving me all these, you know, kind of excuses, you know, his explanations. And I'm like, something don't add up. And you know me, Pitt. You can't just tell me anything and I run with it. So I started making some phone calls, right? And I reached out to a couple of different police departments and another group that I'm in, where one of the guys who's in the group, one of the members of the group, is a former chief of police in Wisconsin. And so when I posted, you know, what was said and so on, so he was like, I never heard no, you know, like that. Where you know, then everybody wanted to know what the context was. And, you know, what I'm getting at is that you have these wannabes. You have these people who, you know, one of the things I tell people in our training, and oh yeah, this podcast is sponsored by Enterprise Security Consulting and Training Incorporated, located at 875 East Main Street, 5th floor, Suite 500. We do security guard training. And so when I'm doing training,
and CPR and first aid,
and
a whole bunch of other
Go to the website. Go to the website, www.esctroc.com. And while you're doing that, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page. So anyway, in our training, I tell people there's a couple of reasons why people get into the security business, right? So most people, it's a second job. It's a way to help make ends meet. For some of us, like you and I, this is our career. This is how we've made our living for a number of years. And then there's another person. And this person, he wants to be a police officer, or she wants to be a police officer.
And couldn't make it.
And for whatever reason, couldn't make it or haven't made it yet. And so they take and make this the next best thing. Listen, we are not police officers. We are not peace officers. We do not have peace officer status. We're not law enforcement. We are private citizens hired to protect life and property. And so when sometimes these folks, they go to the uniform store. I think we had this conversation already. They go to the uniform store and they buy everything they got in the uniform store. And they better not, and they go online.
One Tackleberry outfit, please.
Give me the Tackleberry kit, right? So some of our younger folks don't know who Tackleberry is. You gotta
Police Academy.
Download it. Look it up, right? Police Academy. And so you get these folks who show up to a concert. So, you know, like you said, they got the pistol belt canteen. They got the tactical pants tucked into their boots. They look like they're going to Beirut. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, these folks, they really, really make us look bad because...
I tell you, the quickest way to know a wannabe is the one that's walking around with the can of pepper spray. That
Oh yeah, it looked like a fire extinguisher.
Security guard you see with the fire extinguisher pepper spray, tell him go home. Because he'll spray you and the crowd as soon as an egg breaks on the floor.
Sure enough. So we've learned over the years how to recognize these folks when we see them. So we're just trying to help you out. Listen, if you happen to be one of those folks, I'm gonna help you out. Stop, okay? Because again, I'm not criticizing. Well, I am criticizing because it's true. Don't make more of the job than what it is, right?
Or if they show up with gloves on.
No, it's not showing up with gloves. It's the ones who wear the gloves in 80-degree weather like this, right? And they're walking around. See, I understand that some folks, if you get ready to do pat downs, I understand why you got gloves on. If you get ready to enter into a situation, I understand why you got gloves on. But if you're walking around doing this with your gloves, right?
And I have had my moments of doing that. I know somebody else used to wear gloves. Yeah, I did. But I was still good. I just wanted to rough people up.
When you know better, you do better.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
So, like Pitt said, when you see people coming like that, help them out. Let them know it's not okay, right? Because let me help you understand one of the reasons why. If I see you with your gloves on coming at me, I'm thinking you're getting ready to do something to me. And I'm going to do something to you before you do it to me. So you got to think about how sometimes we incite situations. That's another one about some of those guess agains, right? They ain't going to bust a grape in a food fight, but they're quick to start stuff with people, right? Because they know you and I are there and we got their back, right? So they'll talk hard to people. Listen, if your heart's still pumping Kool-Aid, right? Don't start nothing.
Like the guy that wants to try to throw somebody out. Club closes at 2. It's 1:55, and he's gonna try to grab the guy and throw him out.
That's a real guess again.
Absolutely.
So you gotta have some skills. But before we go on, again, we are Enterprise Security Consulting and Training Incorporated. We provide private investigation, security guard services. We provide security guard training. We do a number of training. If you are interested in becoming a New York State registered security guard, make sure you check out our website, www.scroc.com, and there you'll find information about how to become a security guard, what a security guard does, and the steps it would take for you to go through the process. And we would love to help you out.
We do mentoring.
And we do some mentoring. Well, we can't help you. We can't get you a job. We can point you in the right direction, but we can't. You got to fill out the application. You got to go for the interview. I think one of our shows, Pitt, is going to be about that interview process and how to go about looking for a job in this business. And some of the things that you should say and some of the things that you definitely want to stay away from.
Actually, you know what? Maybe we could do like an actual mock interview.
A mock interview?
Yeah. Who's
going to be the interviewer?
You.
Well, who's going to be the interviewee? That's what I meant.
Me.
You? Oh, this is going to be good. What makes you think?
We won't go over anything ahead of time.
Right.
And we'll just do it off the cuff.
Okay, all right. So I did talk with our friend Ron Richardson. And God bless you, Ron. I don't know if you'll get to see this.
Ron.
Big Ron. But Big Ron is, he's somewhere. He's fishing. So he told me he wouldn't be able to do today's show because he was going to be fishing. But we want to let you know we got some training coming up in June. The 8-hour pre-assignment course, training course for security guards. If that's the first course you need. So it's coming up June 12th. So make sure that you sign up. And but check out this video real quick. It just talks a little bit about our virtual offerings.
At Enterprise Security Consulting and Training, we are doing our part to help you stay safe during this global pandemic caused by the coronavirus. We are now offering virtual security guard training, which will allow you to take our classes from the comfort of your own home. For more information about any of our security guard training classes, go to our website at www.esctroc.com or call us at 585-484-7745. Enterprise Security Consulting and Training.
All right, we are back. Welcome back to the Security Guard Show with Shep and Pitt. We do this on Tuesday evenings at 7 o'clock p.m. or roundabout. We were a little late today. Wasn't my fault.
It's always me. Just so you know, it's always me. If it's not 7 on the dot, that's my fault.
And, well, sometimes it's the equipment, though, too, because sometimes the equipment doesn't do exactly what we needed to do when we needed to do it. So, but we're making some changes, and, you know, things are going to be continually great. But, again, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Just go hashtag Security Guard Show. I'm sure it'll pop up someplace. But we got a lot of great things that are happening. But we're talking about the guess agains, and someone, if you just joined us, you might be wondering exactly what we're talking about. And we're talking about those folks who, you know, they look the part, but you really need to guess again. You need to figure, because you got to know what you're working with. Got to know what you're working with. What'd you say?
I said they're not the part.
They're not the part. They're not the part. And before we go on, we want to shout out my wife, Lakeisha Shepard. She is the VP of ESCT. Oh, I sound like a rapper. The VP of ESCT. All right, and then Sean. What? We gotta give him. He's got to have a better name than that. I'm sorry, I meant a nickname.
McL.
McL. So
his last name's McLean.
Right.
McL.
So McL. Yeah, no, but that sounds too much like Miguel. And we had a Miguel on our team one time.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Shout out to Miguel Rivera,
Face.
wherever you are, brother. Face.
Face.
So, okay, have we told the story about the mobile unit?
No.
Okay, so
I mean, we touched on it a little bit, like
right, talking about school district. So when Pitt and I were working in the city school district, we were a part of the emergency mobile response unit. That's what it was originally called. Emergency mobile response task force or something. That was the original name. And then it just became Mobile One, whatever the case, whatever it was.
I don't know. You're the lead. So.
And so we showed up to buildings and events when stuff wasn't going right, or when a building needed extra help. And so we had a certain way of doing things. I mean, it literally was a team. I mean, it was a team effort, and we really, really worked good together.
Like from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Like it didn't even need to talk.
No.
In situations.
Nope.
Like everybody knew what to do.
I mean, from the two tap to the triangle, right?
Yep.
And so, some folks may not understand what I'm saying. So, a two tap is, well, let me deal with the triangle first. The triangle is, there were 4 people on our team, and so what we would do is one person would be the point. That's the person dealing with the individual that may be in crisis, and then you had the other 3 individuals on the outer perimeter, and whose job was, in the event the person who was in crisis, kind of loses it, they could converge on that individual and stop whatever is happening right then. Now, most times, and I won't say most, but a number of times, I would be that point. So my job is really to get out of the way and then re-engage after you guys got control of the situation. And even then, it wasn't necessarily physical. It was to try to communicate with that individual. So that was the triangle or pyramid.
It's not threatening, but
it's not threatening.
Aware that there are people there.
Right. So, and then the two tap was, if I'm the point and I'm having dialogue with this individual, and now I start to go into crisis myself. We have to recognize that occasionally we go into crisis. So if I'm starting to escalate instead of de-escalate this individual, then my other 3 partners, one of them had to recognize what was going on, and hey, just a quick tap on the shoulder, and I knew I needed to back out. Now there were a couple times where I was adamant about getting my point across, and I'm like, no, I got this.
Like human beings do sometimes.
Right. So I got 2 tapped. It was like, no, I got this. Leave me alone. All right, back to you. You know, but you got to know when to get out of the situation. You know, and so I think those are things that, you know, just a couple tidbits that made us successful. And then not only that, but when we were a team, and I think we talked about this last week, when we were on the van, things might have been said, might have been done, but when we got off the van, we were one unit. And I think that's what people saw in us. If we went to the uniform store and one person bought something, we all bought it because we all wanted to look alike. And so it was that level of camaraderie, and I do miss that. I'm glad I'm where I'm at now, but I do miss the interaction. And quite frankly, I've gotten too old to be ripping and running behind young folks like that ever again. I'm not wrestling. I'm not breaking up a fight. Listen, if I can help it, you know, if I need to, if I'm there with you, I got you. But I ain't looking for no foolishness, and I definitely ain't running too far. You know, used to chase folks all over. You know, nah.
Downtown.
Right.
Downtown.
I'm done with that. I'm past that. And so, you know, I think we developed a great something great. And what's funny is that people tried to emulate what we did afterwards. Emulation is a great form of flattery.
I mean,
we did.
We got absolutely. We were blessed.
We were blessed.
We were blessed to just all fall in the right spot.
Yep. And so our team, you know, we kind of likened ourselves to the A team, you know, the full black version. Well, I can't say full black version because Miguel kind of looked. I mean, he was Hispanic.
Yeah.
He's Puerto Rican, but he kind of looked Caucasian.
From a distance.
From a distance.
You got up close.
But that was our guy, and so he was known as Face, and Pitt here was B.A. Baracus. I was Hannibal, and we had Holland Mad Murder.
Saucy figure.
Capone. No disrespect, homie, but she was Holland Mad Murder. Well, we had a lot of fun.
Funny because we would argue just like they did. I mean, we would argue a lot,
just like
they
them
did
on the
in
van. You know what I'm saying? But we had a lot of fun, you know. And I think that's the other thing, you know. When you got them guess again people, you can't have that kind of fun, you know. Now, 20 years later, you can look at the guess agains. You can have fun laughing at some of the stuff they did and some of the stuff they said. But you definitely couldn't have fun in the moment.
No, because of the situations that they put you in.
Exactly.
Because they are less than stellar.
Yep. So you just never know what was going to happen, you know. But again, you know, I feel blessed to have been in this industry for as long as we have, man, and still rocking on, you know. And one of these days we're gonna retire, but it ain't gonna be real soon.
Right. Ain't got old yet.
But listen, I want to tell you this. So if you are a registered New York State registered security guard, listen, we are working on building our roster, right? Because as you know, the summer is getting ready to kick in. COVID restrictions are being lifted, and so we're going to be pulling folks together for event staff, things like that. And I don't know if we'll probably do, you know, one of those hiring events or something like that, and then we can practice our interview skills with them, right? But if you're a level-headed person, and you know what, I'll even say this: if you've never done security before, but you're not afraid to deal with people, not afraid to be assertive, come on, we'll show you what we've done over the years, right? And you could be just as successful as you would like to be in this industry. And I like teaching people new stuff, you know, some stuff that they may not have done before. So we welcome you to come and join us. If you're looking at our Facebook page or checking out Indeed.com, we are hiring for a part-time office assistant, part-time being 12 hours a week, you know, something like that. But yeah, we could really use the help. So just keep watching, see what we're doing. This time goes by really quick, Pitt.
It does.
You got some last words?
If you're going to do the job, be about the job.
Be about the job. Be about the job. So, with that, we're going to get ready to sign off. And we're still trying to figure out what our new sign off is going to be. So until then, we're just going to say stay safe. Make sure you stay hydrated because the weather is warm. And for those of you who are working outdoors, you're in the heat, make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. And if you're working indoors and you don't have air conditioning, make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. The last thing you need is heat stroke or anything like that. So take care, be safe, and we'll see you here next week.